let's just keep in mind Pachulia's history, including his involvement in Kawhi Leonard's ankle injury, of course, last season. Kyrie also weighed in, replying to an IG post saying the league has to look at this. That bleep is ridiculous. Max, do you like that KD's defending him here?
Yeah, first of all, Kyrie is right. But KD has to defend him. It's his teammate. They're trying to win a championship. Pachulia is there mainly to intimidate the other team's star. Look, Pachulia's like a pitcher in baseball who throws not at a guy but behind his head. You know, because the natural inclination is to fall away. So if you throw behind a guy's head, you're trying to hit him in the head. You know, that's like that. You're trying to seriously hurt someone. Pachulia, what is it going to take? Like, this stuff has no place in the NBA. What is it going to take? Is he going to have to officially just end one of the NBA's brightest lights career? Right? He did this to Kawhi Leonard. He's now done this to Russell Westbrook. What is it going to take? You know why Russell Westbrook was so hot after the game? Because it's not just that Pachulia's fouling him or doing something dangerous. You know, Blake Griffin would go up in the air. It's like everyone in the league thought it was okay to try to take him out. But there's a way to do it where you're really trying to maybe end a guy's career. When you fall on a guy's legs the way Pachulia does, you're trying to hurt him. You're trying to injure him. The defense that he was not intentional is so weak. That's why Westbrook is so hot. It's not like Westbrook fears some physical pain going into the paint among the trees, taking his lumps. That's not the kind of player Westbrook is. But he's like, timeout. This dude is going to end my career. Now, KD defending Pachulia is interesting, of course, because in a way that's going at Westbrook. But I don't see it like that. I see KD put in a position where he must defend his teammate. They're trying to win a championship right now. What else is KD supposed to say?
I don't blame KD for his answer. I just wish the reporter hadn't wasted our time by asking him that question. What the hell is he going to say? Of course he's going to come to the defense of his teammate. He's not going to go, take them seriously when Kevin Durant or another player comes out and say, you know what, my teammate's dirty. Take that seriously. But we all know that's not going to happen. They're not going to say that about Zaza Pachulia. I'm interested in what the league is going to do about this because last year it was the playoffs with Kawhi Leonard. This year, it was a nationally televised game that involved the league MVP. We had a 3-point game, 5-point game rather, that turned into a 32-point annihilation, an absolute blowout. And I don't blame Russell Westbrook one bit for being as hot as he was. He's absolutely right. No one touched Pachulia. Nobody touched him. And all of a sudden, you just fall right on his leg. Your entire body, just the weight of your body, falls right on his leg. That's not an accident. And not only that, I think the league, you have to take this into account. We saw how Russell Westbrook reacted, and he should have reacted that way. He should have been utterly disgusted. We also saw Golden State essentially incriminate itself in this regard. Did you see how physical they were with Oklahoma City? I'm not knocking them. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Golden State. I would have done the same thing that they did overall in terms of KD getting in Melo's face and Draymond getting physical with Melo. Paul George shooting 1 of 14. Golden State was trying to send a message. We're tired of playing with y'all. Y'all beat us the first 2 times this year. We're going to put an end to this nonsense right now and remind y'all who the kings of this league are right now. Enough of this nonsense. So I get where they were coming from. But I'm saying the whole tenor of the game that you witnessed by other players sort of lent itself towards this belief of what Golden State's mentality was going into that particular confrontation. So if you've got that kind of mentality, that falls right in line with who Zaza Pachulia is and what his role is with this team. That's right up his alley, which to me easily explains what he did to Russell Westbrook. But if you're the league, you got Kawhi Leonard, you got Russell Westbrook, and you know who else you have, Max? You have Greg Popovich, who felt the need to come out and call out Zaza Pachulia the way that he did once he did that to Kawhi Leonard last year. You don't see Greg Popovich doing that, particularly to a team coached by one of his great friends in this league in Steve Kerr, whose son works for Greg Popovich. I mean, for Popovich to come out like that against Zaza Pachulia last year speaks volumes to me about how Zaza Pachulia is thought of in the National Basketball Association. And that's the kind of things that I think that cannot go unnoticed. You, the league, you have to address Zaza and some of these tactics because guys are getting hurt when they go against this dude.
You have to. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with having an enforcer on your team, a physical presence that makes guys physically intimidated. But the reason I use the pitching analogy is if you have a pitcher who just says, the inside of the plate is mine, I'm throwing hard and I'm throwing in there, I'm going to brush you back. No one has a problem with that. That's part of the game. It's the pitcher that throws behind the guy's head, where it's like, whoa, hold on a second. You trying to take me out? This, not only forget about, needless to say, the guy has a life, he'd like to live, but also a career. You're trying to end my career is how I feed my family, not to mention my life. That pitcher is a problem. The guy who throws behind the guy's head. So if Pachulia is the kind of guy who's just establishing the inside of the plate, that's one thing. That's not what he's doing. He is falling on guys' legs. And Zaza, you're not slick. It's not like a single person on earth who's not deluding themselves, maybe because they root for the Golden State Warriors, doesn't know what you're doing. It's totally obvious. That's what Westbrook is reacting to, and that's what the league has to take into consideration. Like, what is the alternative? Does every team need to now carry their own enforcer to answer back when Pachulia does something like this? Is that really what the league wants? Because if I had a championship roster constructed, one I thought was competing for a title, I'd have to burn a roster spot on a guy specifically to answer Pachulia, to protect my players, because what he's doing is absurd. You can have a tough guy, you can have an enforcer, a so-called goon who doesn't do things that could potentially end in career-ending injury. This needs to be addressed right now.